Hi there, this time we're going to be taking a look at my new Stronghold deck called Stranglehold, and it's going to be using Cat, Seeker of Freedom, and for the events, we just have some very basic damage stuff and one Market of Shadows. I was a bit too lazy to take the cards out of my main Inferno deck, so this is what we've got. And for the creatures, I kind of have the opposite of my Inferno deck in that I have lots of low cost, reasonable damage creatures. And in the melee side, that was for the shooter side, but in the melee side we have our tanky, higher damage, higher health creatures. So it's kind of the opposite of with the Inferno, where I would be using lots of throwaway melee creatures combined with high health Lilims and such in the back row. It's been reasonable. I haven't had a chance to test it in a ranked duel, however, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Notice that I have some sort of quick attack going on and some swift for some sort of unexpected damage later on. For spells, I've mostly just focused on lots of nukes, because that's what wind tends to be very good at. So we got things like Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt, and lots of lightning strikes and that sort of thing. In Fortunes, we just have a couple buffs and Stampede. I didn't want to put any fortunes in that cost more than 2 destiny, or had a requirement of more than 2 destiny at any rate, so this is what we have to work with. So now we can get to that ranked duel. Alright, here we go. So what do we got? Oh, ew, high cost and lots of spells. This is better. Let's just put this guy here, and we can might up, and next turn we can play one of these guys, which are reasonable. I mean, they got 3 health, so they have a decent amount of survivability, all things considered. We can just place one farther away, and then what are we going to have next turn? We won't be needing spells right now, and we can just get spell anyway, simply because we need to prepare for them when we don't have any creatures that require higher might. And this is going to be a massive problem, so we really need to prepare for more spells right now, while summoning out some additional damage. And we can just use that to kill off that creature immediately when we get the opportunity. We have this 6 damage Lightning Bolt, and next turn we will be able to play it. I won't be worrying too much about this creature. This one's going to be more of a problem simply because it has retaliation. So I'm going to magic up and nuke it and deal some immediate damage. And we can start working this thing down to kill it with something a bit easier. He is, however, going to kill my Goblin Hunter with this poison immediately. As soon as my next turn begins, it will die. Sort of a problem with infect creatures, they essentially have an additional damage simply because you take it immediately on your turn after they've attacked. This creature is incorporeal, so we are going to have a serious problem dealing with it. We can use this to prevent him from attacking. We can do 1 damage with this and 1 damage with this, which won't do a whole lot, or we can attempt to work it down with something like this so that we can finish it off later. That might be ideal. We could use this later perhaps, but not right now. We really need some more cards. Let's just use... Okay. We're gonna have to play something immediately. We can do this and get rid of his thing here. And non-magic damage, right. Okay, what we're going to have to do here is deal some damage to it right now. And the next turn we can kill it with a POW and such. We can damage it right now as well with 1. And then we can either draw a card or prepare for... or prepare to summon another higher might creature, which we're going to do. The reason being that there's no use drawing additional cards if you can't play them immediately. So we're going to prepare our might to play an additional card if we draw it next turn. I want to get some tanks on the field as soon as possible, so that's going to be important. Here we have additional damage on the enemy creatures, and we have fire and earth spells dealing half damage. That's not going to be a serious problem. We can use this to kill it off this turn. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And then we can summon out another creature finally. We can do it right here, that way we have loads of damage piled up so we can nuke something if necessary. And then now we can might up, and when we end, we can rest assured that if we draw a 4-might creature with loads of HP, we can play it immediately. Here we have Soul-Consuming Lich, and each time a creature dies, it heals 2 damage, which means we're going to have to massively nuke it if we want to get it off the field, which is going to be difficult now that we have less creatures. We can do 6 damage immediately. That will not be enough unless we buff this, which we can do. Let's see what we have here, though. Enemy melee and flyer creatures cannot attack. That doesn't help much. This 4 damage is going to help a lot. We might have to use this now. Do we have enough resources? Yes, we do, so it might be ideal. What do we have? Okay, we might actually have to do that just to get this off the field as soon as possible. So we're going to nuke it. We're going to buff up and just kill it. It was necessary. And then we can draw a card with our remaining resources and end. Next turn we got another flying creature, but it won't help much simply because we won't have the damage output to take this guy out. But we do have a tank. What does this guy have? Life Drain 2, so it won't help much to put something in front of it, but we can at least absorb some of the damage that will most certainly kill us if we don't. We can, however, use one of our block things here to prevent all attacks for a turn. That won't do a whole lot, however, so we got to kill something eventually, as soon as possible. We can use this, plus an additional 3 from this and 3 from this, if we have, we can do that next turn to kill off this Archlich, can we? No we cannot. We can only do enough to get it down to 1 HP. Right, so we may have to play this just to save our ass. So we're going to do that. And then prepare our tank here maybe. And we can whittle it down, or we can nuke it. I think we're going to have to nuke it. So we'll play this here, and this here to kill off that spider. And then next turn we can do a whole lot more. Hopefully. He's probably going to shuffle things around to keep his spider alive, or just use some dark magic. That Soul Reaver is extremely nasty. Can't really do much against that. Another life drain coming out. Lots of survivability. What we can do is use 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We do not have anywhere near enough resources for that. We can power up and kill this immediately, in addition to doing half the damage required to kill that, but it won't be enough. However, with our 5, 6, 7, 8, with our remaining resources, we will be able to play a POW and draw a card. Do we want to do that? Possibly. Maybe. Okay, what we can do then is just use this, and that will give us the attack we need, and then we can kill this off, we can do some damage, and then we can summon a POW and kill this, which may be necessary, and we will have 3 resources left, which can be used to save our ass. Right. It may not be ideal, we need this damage later on, but we also can't let him have any more card advantage, so we're going to just kill that off immediately, and then draw a card instead. And we get something particularly good, so we'll play that here, which will most likely be a mistake if he, well, it's very possible that he could just kill my stuff off very quickly, and then this could die immediately. But if he doesn't, we'll have loads of damage. Oh. Deploying a copy of that, which means he can kill me immediately. So yeah, it's a learning experience. It's going to perhaps take a while before I get a Stronghold deck that really works against the Necros and such out there right now. But it's a pretty good start. See how that goes. If you have any suggestions, if you are a player in Duel of Champions already and you like to use Stronghold, then you can leave a suggestion in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next time.